Okay, molar mass is what we're going to work on first because it's the foundation for everything else that follows. The definition for molar mass is that molar mass is the mass in grams, which we abbreviate as a lowercase g, of 1 mole of a substance. Okay, so that is our definition for this. Our units for molar mass are always going to be grams per mole or grams over mole. So let's work through two of these problems so that we can have some examples. In problem number 1, we see that the compound that they give us is zirconium. Okay? Zirconium, we can notice by the fact that it does not have a subscript, we only have one of them. Remember, if there is no subscript, that tells us we have at least one. When we look at the periodic table, we see that zirconium has a molar mass of 91.22. So I'm going to multiply the number of atoms by the molar mass of my by the mass of my compound in grams to get my answer. So 1 times 91.22 is 91.22 grams per mole. And that is my answer for number 1. So essentially, you count the number of atoms, multiply them by their mass on the periodic table to get your answer. If you have multiple atoms and multiple elements, like in problem number 2, you will add them all together. So let's work number 2 as an example. In number 2, we see that we have the elements iron, sulfur, and oxygen. And when we count the atoms, I see that I have 2 iron atoms. I have 1 sulfur atom inside the parenthesis, but the 3 that is outside the parenthesis gets multiplied to everything inside. So that means 3 times 1 sulfur will give me 3 sulfurs, and 3 times 3 oxygens will give me 9 oxygens. So now that I've counted up my atoms, I'm going to look up the masses of each element on the periodic table. Iron has a mass of 55.85. Sulfur has a mass of 32.07. And oxygen has a mass of 16.00. In our class, we are going to round or only use 2 numbers after the decimal, which is what is on the periodic table as you were given in class. So now we're going to use our calculators to multiply what we have. 2 times 55.85 is going to give us 111.70 grams. 3 times 32.07 will give us 96.21 grams. And 9 times 16 will give us 144.00 grams. When I add them all together, I say 111.70 plus 96.21 plus 144 will give me 351.91 grams per mole. And that will be my answer for problem number 2. So again, every time you're doing this, you list your elements, you count the atoms that you have, you multiply them by their mass from the periodic table, and then you add them all together to get your total. Please note that this is the number of grams in 1 mole of the exact same substance. So I would read this as 351.91 grams of iron sulfate is equal to 1 mole of iron sulfate because it's over 1 mole here.